This is Q24 to Bushwick, Lafayette Avenue, Patchen Avenue. Next stop, Archer Avenue and Merrick Boulevard. This stop is Archer Avenue and Merrick Boulevard. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and 165th Street. Transfers available to Q6, Q8, Q9, Q41, Q54, Q56, Q110, Q30, Q31, Q17 and Q17 Limited. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and 165th Street. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and 162nd Street. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and 162nd Street. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and Parsons Boulevard. Transfers available to the E&J trains, Q25, Q34, Q65, Q4, Q5, Q42, Q83, Q84, Q85, N4, Q44 SBS, Q111, Q112, Q113 Limited, Q114 Limited, Q20A and Q20B. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and Parsons Boulevard. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and 150th Street. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and 150th Street. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and Sutphin Boulevard. Transfers available to the E&J trains, Air Train, Long Island Railroad, Q6, Q9, Q60 and Q44 SBS. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and Sutphin Boulevard. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and 144th Street. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and 144th Street. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and Queens Boulevard. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and Queens Boulevard. Next stop, Wyck Expressway Service Road West and Jamaica Avenue. Transfer available to the E train. This stop is Wyck Expressway Service Road West and Jamaica Avenue. Next stop, Wyck Expressway Service Road West and 89th Avenue. This stop is Wyck Expressway Service Road West and 89th Avenue. Next stop, Wyck Expressway Service Road West and 91st Avenue. This stop is Wyck Expressway Service Road West and 91st Avenue. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Wyck Expressway West. Transfer available to Q41. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Wyck Expressway West. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 130th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 130th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 127th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 127th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 124th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 124th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 121st Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 121st Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Lefferts Boulevard. Transfers available to QM18, Q10 and Q10 Limited. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Lefferts Boulevard. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 117th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 117th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 114th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 114th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 111th Street. Transfer available to Q37. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 111th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 108th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 108th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 104th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 104th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 102nd Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 102nd Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 100th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 100th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 96th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 96th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Woodhaven Boulevard. Transfers available to QM15, Q11, Q21, Q53 SBS and Q52 SBS. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Woodhaven Boulevard. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 92nd Street. Transfers available to Q11, Q52 SBS and Q53 SBS. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 92nd Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 90th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 90th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 88th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 88th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 85th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 85th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 82nd Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 82nd Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 80th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 80th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 78th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 78th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 76th Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 76th Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and 74th Place. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and 74th Place. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Grant Avenue. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Grant Avenue. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Crescent Street. Transfer available to B13. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Crescent Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Chestnut Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Chestnut Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Logan Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Logan Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Hale Avenue. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Hale Avenue. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Shepherd Avenue. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Shepherd Avenue. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Linwood Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Linwood Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Cleveland Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Cleveland Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Warwick Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Warwick Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Barbie Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Barbie Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Hendricks Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Hendricks Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Miller Avenue. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Miller Avenue. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Wyona Street. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Wyona Street. Next stop, Atlantic Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. Transfers available to the C train, B20 and B83. This stop is Atlantic Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and Patchen Place. Transfers available to the J train, B83, B20, Q56 and B25. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and Patchen Place. Next stop, Jamaica Avenue and Broadway. Transfers available to the J train, B25, B83, B20, Q56 and B12. This stop is Jamaica Avenue and Broadway. Next stop, Van Sinderen Avenue and Broadway. Transfers available to the A, C, J and L trains, B25, B83, B20 and Q56. This stop is Van Sinderen Avenue and Broadway. Next stop, Broadway and Eastern Parkway. Transfers available to the A, C, J and L trains. This stop is Broadway and Eastern Parkway. Next stop, Broadway and Aberdeen Street. This stop is Broadway and Aberdeen Street. Next stop, Broadway and Granite Street. This stop is Broadway and Granite Street. Next stop, Broadway and Chauncey Street. This stop is Broadway and Chauncey Street. Next stop, Broadway and Cooper Street. This stop is Broadway and Cooper Street. Next stop, Broadway and Schaefer Street. This stop is Broadway and Schaefer Street. Next stop, Broadway and Eldred Street. This stop is Broadway and Eldred Street. Next stop, Broadway and Halsey Street. Transfers available to B26 and B7. This stop is Broadway and Halsey Street. Next stop, Broadway and Jefferson Avenue. This stop is Broadway and Jefferson Avenue. Next stop, Broadway and Madison Street. This stop is Broadway and Madison Street. Next stop, Broadway and Gates Avenue. Transfer available to B52. This stop is Broadway and Gates Avenue. Next stop, Broadway and Grove Street. This stop is Broadway and Grove Street. Next stop, Broadway and Green Avenue. Transfer available to B47. This stop is Broadway and Green Avenue. Next stop, Patchen Avenue and Lafayette Avenue. Transfers available to the J train, B38, B38 Limited, B47, B46 and B46 SBS. This stop is Patchen Avenue and Lafayette Avenue. This is Q24 to Bushwick Lafayette Avenue Patchen Avenue. Please exit through the rear door.